In 2024, Georgia passed a law designed to protect homeowners from rising property taxes. In Cobb County, Cherokee County, and Paulding County all rejected it. If you own a home or you're about to buy one in Metro Atlanta, this affects your tax bill more than almost anything else I've covered on this channel. Let's get into it. Hey family, welcome back. I'm David, your go-to realtor and relocation expert in the Metro Atlanta area. Property taxes are one of those topics everybody ignores until the bill shows up in the mailbox. So today, I'm breaking down exactly how Georgia property taxes work, what changed in 2025, and why your specific county matters more than you think. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics, because most homeowners don't actually know how their bill gets calculated. In Georgia, your home isn't taxed on its full market value. It's taxed on 40% of that value. That's set by the Georgia Constitution. So if your home is worth $400,000, your assessed value starts at $160,000. From there, exemptions get subtracted, and whatever left gets multiplied by your local millage rate, set by your county, your city, and your school district. That's why two homes worth the same exact amount in different counties can have very different tax bills. In November of 2024, Georgia voters approved a constitutional amendment tied to House Bill 581, nicknamed the Save Our Homes Act. Here's what it was designed to do: cap how much your home's taxable value can grow each year, tied to inflation, not the market. So if your home's market value jumped 15% in a hot year, your taxable value would only be allowed to rise by the inflation rate, maybe 2 or 3%. On paper, this protects homeowners from getting priced out by rising assessments even while staying in the same house. Sounds like a win for homeowners, right? Here's where it gets interesting, because the law gave every county, city, and school district in Georgia the choice to opt out. And in Metro Atlanta, most of them did. Cherokee County's Board of Education also opted out. They commissioned an audit that projected staying under HB 581 would cost the school district over $250 million in revenue over time, in a district that's growing fast and increasingly dependent on local property tax revenue. And Paulding County School Board opted out too, citing similar fiscal pressure: 32,000 students, and a tax digest that's roughly 86% residential, and a growing reliance on local funding as the county continues to grow. So here's the pattern. It's not that these counties don't care about homeowners. Cobb County generally believes its existing exemption is better. Cherokee and Paulding County are dealing with fast growth and the need for revenue flexibility to keep funding the schools. Either way, if you owned a home in any of these three counties, the statewide cap does not apply to you. So what does opting out actually mean in practice? Your home's taxable value can still rise with the market, uncapped, as long as it stays within the appraisal standard Georgia law requires. Your existing homestead exemption still applies. That hasn't gone anywhere. But the new inflation rate protection from HB 581 simply doesn't kick in for you. If your neighborhood sees a hot year of appreciation, your assessment can still rise right along with it, and so can your tax bill. Let's make this real with actual numbers, because percentages don't mean much until you see them hit a dollar amount. Say your home was worth $400,000 last year, and this year the market pushed it to $440,000, a 10% jump. In a county that's opted into HB 581, your taxable value would only be allowed to rise by the inflation rate, let's say 3%. So you'd be taxed as if your home were only worth roughly $412,000. In Cobb, Cherokee, and Paulding, where the cap doesn't apply, you're taxed on the full $440,000 market value, assuming your county's own local exemption doesn't otherwise limit it. At a typical combined millage rate of around 30 mills, that gap alone could mean a few $100s more per year, and it compounds every year your home keeps appreciating. That's real world impact behind all this legal language. Now, before you panic, there's a twist coming that changes this entire conversation, and it's happening soon. In 2026, Georgia passed the Home Act, State Bill 33. This law makes the inflation rate cap mandatory statewide starting in 2027. No more opt-outs for anyone. So even Cobb, Cherokee, and Paulding will eventually be brought into the system, whether they choose to or not. If you're moving to Atlanta and buying a home in these counties right now, it's worth understanding that these rules you're under today are temporary, and a more predictable system is coming in just a couple of years. Let's get practical because knowing this matters and doing something about it are two different things. Here's exactly how to file. First, go to your county tax assessor's website. Cobb, Cherokee, and Paulding all have online homestead exemption portals. Second, confirm you owned and occupied the home as your primary residence as of January 1st of this year. That's the eligibility cutoff. Third, gather your documents, typically a driver's license, matching the property address, and your deed or closing statement. Fourth, submit before April 1st for it to apply to this tax year. Miss that and it rolls to next year. And fifth, if you're 62 or older, ask specifically about additional senior school tax exemptions when you file. They're not automatically applied, and most homeowners never ask. So here's an honest summary. Georgia tried to give every homeowner more predictable property taxes, and most of Metro Atlanta's biggest counties said their existing systems already were better and they couldn't afford the revenue hit. Starting in 2027, that choice goes away completely. Until then, if you own or you're moving to Atlanta to buy in Cobb County, Cherokee, or Paulding County, your best protection is making sure you've actually applied for every exemption you qualify for, because the state level safety net isn't covering you yet. All right, family, that's what's actually happening with Georgia property taxes right now, and why your county matters more than people realize. So if you're moving to Atlanta or you already owned a home here and you want to make sure you're not overpaying on taxes, that's exactly what I help my clients think through. Book a discovery call, the link's below. And if this helped, make sure you subscribed. Why haven't you subscribed? We have real bigger questions today. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And until next time, family, talk to you soon. Peace.